So what is unusual in this history?
Sir,
You are thinking is a cholestasis.
yes, sir.
So what is unusual in this history?
Unusually, the child is passing normal colored urine, sir, since birth.
Yeah, yeah, normal colored urine. And also this baby is passing almost pale stools from birth.
Yes, sir.
Almost from birth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it may be there in the biliary atresia, but it is not typically. Usually they notice around a little later. This may
Yes,
not
sir.
be earlier. Yeah. Eh, Sir, anything in the history level, sir? You want to ask him, sir, anything?
No, did they? I mean, this is a 1.6 kilo child.
Yes,
So
sir.
sure, definitely there would have been neonatal hyperbilirubinemia case. Was it
Yes,
there? I mean,
sir.
did the child receive any phototherapy or any other therapy for neonatal hyperbilirubinemia?
As per the parents, sir, they noticed jaundice after 7 days of life. But considering the history of pale color stools, there might be a jaundice from the day one of life. But the parents were not counseled regarding the treatment aspects. They just mentions the history of giving IV antibiotics for the child, sir.
And meconium was normal. Meconium color was normal.
No, sir.
No abnormal meconium.
From the day one, first stools only was a pale color stool, sir.
But meconium was passed. That was
Yes.
normal.
Yes, sir.
So bile has come into the intestine antenatally.
Achyut,
Sir.
so is the meconium, the thick block meconium in the baby past, the greenish black one, or baby first stool itself is a pale meconium?
So first stool itself is a pale color stool, sir.
So afterwards, not even a single stool, baby is past some greenish or dark greenish stools?
No, sir. Persistently, child is continued to pass a pale color stool since then, sir.
Okay. So, but baby was there in the NICU for first 1 week, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that NICU stay only for antibiotics.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. And baby started on breastfeeding after 1 week.
Yes, sir. For after 7 days of life, child is fed with the mother's milk.
Okay. So, at the history level, what do you think is a problem?
So broadly, we can come to a statement of neonatal cholestasis. Probably, even though the parents noticed the jaundice from the day 7, it could be jaundice from the day 1 of life. Considering that, it could be a case of uh, neonatal hepatitis, sir.
Okay.
And as the history suggests, there is a decreasing in trend of the jaundice. It could be a case of colorectal cyst also, sir.
But the neonatal hepatitis also will cause cholestasis.
Yes, sir.
And then baby is passing almost normal colored urine, not staining the undergarments.
Yes, sir.
And passing pale stools.
Yes, sir.
And it is noticed since birth. So,
Yes,
what are the conditions which can present since birth, where baby is jaundiced? So, like say, which is now it's a equivocal history, except for the pale stools,
yes, sir.
which mother is telling you are not inspected. Only mother is telling that pale stools and normal urine,
Yes, sir.
and jaundice since birth.
Yes, sir.
So, is it very clear that it is a history-wise uh, conjugated hyperbilirubinemia or unconjugated?
Sir, sir, it can be both unconjugated and conjugated hyperbilirubinemia, sir.
Okay. So, what are the conditions which can present at birth?
One is sepsis secondary to premature rupture of membrane, sir, and congenital torch infection.
But the history is not suggestive of that.
Yes, sir. And uh, features of hemolytic jaundice, sir.
No, but is there any ABO incompatible? That is
No, sir.
okay. I don't know, but sometimes this biliary atresia or this the neonatal hepatitis may start not perinatally. It can as early as even late second trimester or third trimester itself.
Yes, sir.
So that also is a possibility, because most of the times we see perinatal events, but it can be possibly, or any other congenital other liver problems, like say I don't know, the cystic fibrosis and alpha 1 antitrypsin deficiency, all those things may take time,
Yes, sir.
but this is little unusual. So just I wanted to know what Ramchandra sir wants to say about that.
Going by the history, I think neonatal cholestasis is a possibility. But that history of from birth pale colored stools, I don't know how much we
Reliable.
have to give significance to that. So neonatal hepatitis, biliary atresia, choledochal cyst,
Yes, sir.
and other inherited diseases which cause cholestasis. Usually they present little later in childhood. They
Yes,
don't
sir.
present in the newborn period. So I think what he said, sepsis is fine, urinary tract infection, that is fine. Biliary atresia is fine, neonatal hepatitis is fine, choledochal cyst is fine. So these are the things we have to think of.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So in that first possibility is your biliary atresia
Neonatal hepatitis, sir.
in the order of decreasing this thing importance. Yeah.
Uh, Coming to physical examination, child is conscious, alert, and active. Pulse rate is 120 per minute, good volume, normal rhythm. BP 90/60 millimeter of mercury. Child is afebrile on examination. Respiratory rate is 30 per minute. Child is icteric. There is no pallor, cyanosis, clubbing, and lymphedema. Anthropometry, length of the child is 45 centimeter, which is less than one centile. Weight is 2.5 kg, which is less than 1 centile. Head circumference is 30 centimeter, which is less than third centiles. Head to toe examination, there is closed anterior and posterior fontanelle, microcephaly, depressed nasal bridge. There is proptosis. Triangular face is seen with a prominent chin, low set ears, with a polydactyly and syndactyly in the both the lower limbs. There is no evidence of scratch marks and no signs of liver cell failure. Coming to abdominal examination, on inspection there is mildly protuberant abdomen with a low-lying umbilicus, no visible dilated veins seen, no evidence of ecchymosis, flanks are free, hernial orifices are intact, external genitalia looks normal. On palpation, there is no local rise of temperature, and abdomen is soft, non-tender, no mass felt, there is no hepatomegaly and splenomegaly. On percussion, resonant note is felt all over the abdomen, with no evidence of free fluid in the abdomen. Auscultation, normal bowel sounds are heard, and spine is clinically spine is normal. Systemic examination, cardiovascular system, there is no S1 and S2 heart sounds are heard normally. Respiratory system, bilateral air entry is normal. Normal vesicular breath sounds are heard bilaterally. Central nervous system examination is normal. At the end of examination, to summarize, it is a 2.5 months male child with features of neonatal cholestasis with associated dysmorphic features and failure to thrive, with no evidence of liver cell failure. Probably a diagnosis of neonatal cholestasis for evaluation with the dysmorphic faces.
So no organomegaly also.
No organomegaly, sir.
So only cholestasis, icterus. The positive findings is only icterus, dysmorphic features.
Yes, sir.
And the growth centiles which are below
Failure to
1
thrive, sir.
percentile, fail to thrive.
Yes, sir.
Now baby is still breastfed only.
Yes, sir. Child is on breastfeeding.
What CNS findings you will get in this child at this age? What
Sir,
CNS findings you look for?
sir, irritability, sir, lethargy, and
Okay, what else? Irritability, I don't know, it's a very subjective finding.
yes, sir. There will be excessive vomiting, refusal of feed, sir.
No, no, what specific signs you elicit for the CNS examination at this age? Anything specific you look for?
Uh, lo-
What is called as Dalsai movement?
on tilting the face to the one side, there will be shifting of the eyeballs to the other sides.
Is that how it is elicited? I'm not sure. Then what is this thing, the lag sign? What is this thing? What is the tone of the limbs?
Limbs tone is
And
normal, sir.
when you hold the child, on your palm of your hand, with the child sort of prone on your palm of your hand, what is that sign called? I forget that name. What is that sign called? When the child should huh?
So parachuting sides.
Parachute. I don't know. That is one sign you have to elicit in CNS examination. The Alzheimer moment is the other one. The pulsatility of the anterior fontanelle is the other one. The presence of a completely fused lambdoid suture is the other one. Then tone of the muscles. So these are the things you have to look for.
Yes, sir.
What does bilirubin cause to the heart rate? High
It,
bilirubin?
it causes bradycardia, sir.
Bradycardia.
Sign,
Oh. When you examine this child, can you tell the level of the icterus in this child by looking at the palms and the soles of the feet and all that?
yes, sir. If it is that is defined by the Kramer's rule, sir. If it is at the
Okay.
level of face and the neck, it is around 5 to 8 gram per deciliter.
Hmm.
Upper trunk and lower trunk corresponds to around 10 gram per deciliter, sir. Similarly, lower limbs 5 to 3 to 5 gram per deciliter.
That is mainly for no, unconjugated bilirubin,
Unconjugated,
isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Mainly for neonatal hyperbilirubinemia. You
Yes,
use those signs. What about the palate in this child? Palate is normal,
normal palate, sir.
normal palate. But the ears are low set ears.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Along with that dysmorphic features, what about the eyes? Do they look normal eyes, the baby?
Eyes are normal, sir. Clinically, on examination in the light looks anterior chamber looks normal, sir, and cornea and sclera looks normal, except for the jaundice, icterus.
Okay. But you that when you look at the baby's face, the eyes looks little more prominent.
Yes, sir. The proptosis is there, sir.
Yeah, eyes looks more prominent, and then yes, the little triangular pointed chin also is there for the
Yes, sir.
baby, so it may fit into triangular faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah, triangular
This is
faces.
some syndromic look the baby has,
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
basically. Small umbilical hernia also. Is there umbilical hernia?
So there is no defects and it's not there is no impulse on crying also.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The triangular when you call the triangular faces, what exactly you mean, Achyut?
There will be prominent chin and uh,
Chin is pointed.
yes, sir.
It's a very pointed, and then what else will be there?
There will be
So very yeah. So broad, forehead is very broad,
Yes, sir.
and eyes will be not very prominent like proptosis. The actually deeply seated eyes will be there,
Yes, sir.
and then because of the pointed chin, broad forehead, it look like a triangle.
Yes, sir.
So they may be that is an indicator that maybe you may have to look for some other dysmorphic features and syndromic features associated.
Yes,
And
sir.
Definitely.
usually, buccal pad of fat will not be there in those children. It
Yes,
Correct,
will
sir.
be
sir.
flat.
Correct, sir.
The cheeks will be flat, or sort of they'll be pinched inside the cheeks. In
Yes,
these
sir.
children who have these triangular faces, syndromic faces, you won't have that buccal pad of fat.
Yes, sir.
So what are the like cholestasis situations where they have associated some syndromes?
Uh, One is Alagille syndrome, sir,
Okay.
and uh, biliary atresia splenic malformation syndrome.
Yeah, BASM. Okay.
Yes, sir. Dubin Johnson
And then
syndrome.
the triangular faces, where which other syndromes is described? The triangular faces.
Mainly in Alagille syndrome, sir.
Okay.
No, even in some congenital heart disease, you get no triangular faces. I think I'm not sure. Some aortic stenosis or something. You'll have to look it up. I'm not very sure. See, there's a character in Mad Magazine, no? I don't know how many of you have read Mad Magazine. So there's one John Newman so that face looks like that Newman's face in not John Newman, Alfred Newman. Alfred Newman's face, it looks like the triangular face. It's seen in I think aortic aortic stenosis or something like that. I'm not very sure. Some
Okay.
congenital heart disease. Anyway, let's proceed with the discussion.
Just to complete, what are the other components of Alagille syndrome, Achyut?
There will be
Since you also
deep-seated eyes,
possibility
low
of
set, depressed nasal bridge, sir, with a triangular face and pointed chin. There can be low-lying umbilicus with butterfly vertebra, associated cardiovascular anomalies like pulmonary stenosis. There can be renal dysplasia, undescended testes, and in eyes there will be a presence of in the junction of cornea and iris there will be formation of rings.
embryotoxin, posterior
Yes,
embryotoxin.
yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay. So on the history wise, sir, history and the physical examination, anything needs to be discussed, sir? Yes.
No, I
Is the
think
baby
we are fine. You can proceed.
is the baby flappy when you're holding it?
No, sir. Tone
No,
looks
tone is good.
good, sir.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead.
Shall I proceed with the investigation, sir?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Uh, on investigation, hemoglobin is 8, platelet of 3.76, WBC of 10,000, neutrophil 32, and lymphocyte of 54. Urea is 4, creatinine is zero point 0.3, serum electrolytes is normal, uh, ANR is 1.4. Total bilirubin is 3.7, direct bilirubin is 3, indirect is 0.5, total protein is 4.3, and albumin is 3.2 with normal AST and ALT levels. Alkaline phosphatase is 950 and GGT is 538.
So what do you interpret? What is your interpretation of the results, the lab results?
Anemic child with uh, uh, increased direct component of bilirubin with features of obstructive pattern with elevated alkaline phosphatase and GGT levels. Sir.
So, proteins, total proteins.
Total protein is 4.3. Sir.
Okay. And the INR also is 1.4.
Yes, sir.
INR is 1.4. Total proteins is 4.3. And then there is anemia, plus there is elevated alkaline phosphatase and gamma GGT.
Yes, sir.
So it's all suggestive of obstructive jaundice
Yes, sir.
or cholestasis. Any medication since birth? Baby, nothing. No medication also.
A child is receiving supplementation, sir. Vitamin D3 and
Okay, see two things now with babies 2.5 months.
yes, sir.
Mother has noticed jaundice 7 days, and baby is passing pale stools and normal urine. Did you had a chance to examine the stools?
Yes, sir. I have seen the stool color, sir. It is pale only.
Okay, and what are the nappies staining, urine staining nappies?
In normal color, sir. There is no dark yellow staining of the nappy, sir.
Not there.
Not there, sir.
And then you also say that bilirubin is not more than 5 generally.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's all this. Definitely, it looks like cholestasis, but you must have seen so many biliary atresia patients.
Yes, sir.
That is now. Do you think this parameters are looking like a typical biliary atresia?
Uh, except for the ALP and GGT, sir, bilirubin is on the lower side as compared to the routine biliary atresia cases what we see, sir.
Yeah. So, what are the differentials? You want to keep it now,
Uh,
or you want to go ahead with the imaging and then take a differentials?
at this point of time, I would like to, without imaging, I would like to consider colorectal cyst and biliary atresia as the possibilities, sir.
The elevated ALP and GGT with jaundice, direct fraction more than 20%.
Yes, sir.
Yes. With already borderline, the altered INR is there, coagulation profile,
Yes,
but
sir.
you don't have any splenomegaly, no hepatomegaly. So, no, but usually by this age, at this age, your liver should be normally palpable.
Yes, sir.
But this baby, you say at least a smooth border of liver must be palpable usually. But
Yes,
in
sir.
this baby, your selling is not palpable.
Yes, sir.
So as much no organomegaly, no hepatomegaly.
Yes, sir.
So one possibility is biliary atresia, other one is colorectal cyst you want to consider.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other like say familial intrahepatic cholestasis, PFIX?
PFIC will be having normal GGT levels, sir. Here GGT level is elevated.
Yeah. PFIX and all will be that's the only differentiation factor between biliary atresia and PFIC will be the GGT will be normal levels. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we proceed to the
Yeah, yeah,
investigation?
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, Torch profile is done. It is normal, sir.
Go ahead.
Uh, Two-zoned abdomen. There is so liver is normal in size and echo structure. Triangular cord sign is negative 2 millimeters. Gallbladder postprandial is 12 into 5 millimeters. Spleen is normal. Kidneys are normal. There is a well-defined cystic lesion of size 16 into 10 into 16 millimeters is seen between the bladder and the rectum. Thin septations and dependent debris are seen within the lesion.
Okay. So this is the liver is normal size. Liver span is normal.
Yes, sir.
Echo texture is normal.
Yes, sir.
The triangle cord sign is negative.
Yes, sir.
So what is triangular cord sign?
Sir, it is a hyperechoic area between the uh, division of the portal vein, sir, seen at the undersurface of the liver.
Exactly where it is seen.
It is seen at the level of porta hepatis, sir.
Basically, there's hyperechoic echogenicity, periportal hyperechogenicity.
Yes,
What
sir.
will be the normal to say positive?
More than 4 millimeters is positive, sir.
Yeah, more than 3 millimeters. Some of the literature say, yeah, more than 4 millimeters typically. So very, very significant. What other features now in this patient you're suspecting? Now we have triangular cord sign is negative, liver ecotexture is normal.
Yes, sir.
What about the gallbladder? Any comment on the gallbladder now? You want to interpret that gallbladder size?
Gallbladder size is looks smaller, sir, for
Is
the
it a
age.
postprandial or preprandial size?
Postprandial, sir.
So postprandial expected to be small or large one?
Small, sir.
So what is which size do you think when you say the gallbladder is small? Any specific size you have?
Less than 2 centimeter or 15 millimeters, sir.
Yeah, less than 15 millimeters. Definitely, it's very very small. And what else you want to look in for from ultrasound? Apart from these two things,
One is gallbladder contractility, sir.
okay,
Presence or absence of intrahepatic biliary radical dilatation.
okay, not there.
Yes, sir. And patency of the and patency of the biliary tract, common bile duct.
Okay, what will be the measurements of this age normally? Common bile duct and this, it will not be. It will be one to maybe between 2 to 3 millimeters or maybe less than that.
Yes, sir.
So any other signs of biliary atresia in the ultrasound?
Sir, presence or absence of subcapsular flow of blood, sir.
No, absence of present. Which one?
Presence of subscapular flow is towards the biliary atresia.
Yeah, suggest of biliary atresia. Increased,
Yes, sir.
increased subcapsular arterial flow.
Yes, sir.
So in this patient, triangular cord sign is negative, but gallbladder is postprandial around 12 millimeters, and then there is no increased subcapsular flow, and liver is normal size, normal echo texture. But you
Yes,
have a surprise of some cystic lesion in the pelvis.
yes, sir.
So at this point of time, what do you consider?
I will consider the possibility of biliary atresia only.
Okay.
Most often you do the ultrasound in
Yes,
biliary
sir.
atresia most often to rule out choledochal cyst. That's an important thing. And triangular cord sign is a sign which has come into prominence lately. And I think there is clinical correlation between that and biliary atresia to a large extent. More important is to know whether the architecture of the liver is disturbed or not,
Yes, sir.
which can be made out in ultrasound scan. So when we were in early practice and during our training, ultrasound was done only to rule out biliary atresia.
Yes, sir.
Nothing else. No other signs were there. Nothing else was there. The subcapsular flow, everything was not discussed at all at that time. Choledochal cyst is there or not? That's all. That's all we used to find out.
Yes, sir.
And once and most often it will not be there. So then you go ahead with the intra-op cholangiogram and proceed. That's what we would do for this. So here, what would you like to do next? What is that cyst which is seen in the pelvis? Both the testes are descended, no? In this
Yes,
child?
sir. Both the testes are descended, sir.
Okay.
I don't know about the cyst, sir, what it is.
Both the kidneys, ureters, everything is normal.
Yes, sir.
Any crying while passing urine, anything other history is there?
No, sir.
Pulmonary disturbances,
No, sir.
dysuria, nothing. And there is no the description of the cyst in the antenatal scans. Means mother was
No,
not counseled about anything of that sort.
no, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So what do you want to do next?
What do you want to do next?
Sir, next I would like to consider intraoperative cholangiogram and liver biopsy, sir.
No, do you want to do a liver biopsy before you want to do an intra-op cholangiogram, or you want to do next step would be intraoperative cholangiogram for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is that what it is?
Yes, sir. As the blood investigation and imaging suggest to more likely of biliary atresia, I would like to consider intraoperative cholangiogram as the first option, sir.
Has this patient been seen by general pediatrics unit and by the geneticist also? Both have seen this child.
Yes, sir. They have seen it today, sir.
What have they written?
So, pediatric medicine says they've advised for HIDA scan and CECT abdomen, while genetic opinion they have said that
What is the impression from them, pediatricians?
so suspected Zellweger syndrome, Appertas, or Cruzen syndrome.
No, that is for the cranium, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Nothing else they've mentioned about.
What syndrome they told?
Cruzen syndrome, Zellweger
Okay.
syndrome, Apperta.
Okay. Like what are the the features they are on that basis they are suspecting?
Tower skull, temporal hollowness, proptosis, upturned nose, and polysyndactyl with brachydactyl.
No, but he has no brachydactyly, no? So he's got
He's
brachy,
actually got polysyndactyl.
polysyndactyly. Okay.
Yes. And genetics, they have said craniosynostosis syndrome or
Yeah.
neonatal cholestasis under evaluation. That's all they mentioned.
Okay. So what is your take on doing IDA scan, Achyut? And why you want to do it? You don't want to do it. If you want to do it, why do you want to do it? If you don't want, why don't want to do it?
So I don't want to go ahead with HIDAS cancer, as
Okay.
it has a so it is a less specific investigation with a specificity of around 55%. So and it is more costlier.
Okay. So it is expensive investigation without much specificity.
Yes,
It
sir.
has got a high sensitivity, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Sensitivity is very high.
Yes,
It
sir.
has specificity is not much.
Yes, sir.
So considering why you don't want to do it, apart from that costly and sensitivity. So for example, even if you do it, if you are able to see excretion of bile into the JET by 24 hours, so you will be able to rule out sort of a biliary atresia. It can avoid a major laparotomy or biopsy intervention procedure. This I'm asking you. So I agree with you that you don't need to do the IDA scan, but how do you say that?
Sir, so GGT level is elevated,
Okay.
which is more pointing towards the obstructive uh, pattern, sir.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
with the amount of GGT elevation and amount of alkaline phosphate elevation, what you're seeing,
yes, sir.
that amount of jaundice is not that much. The
Yes, sir.
jaundice level is very, very low. It's not really. Yes, definitely GGT and alkaline phosphate is elevated. So,
Yes, sir.
if you want to say one word, ultimately, if I am a proponent of IDA, how
Yes.
do you say that you don't want to do IDA? How do you argue it out? No, ultimately, this baby requires operative cholangiogram, yes or
Uh,
no?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It requires.
So, most likely, this baby requires operative cholangiogram. That's why probably I don't want to do IDA, and you may lose the precious time also, possibly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any other parameters you can look into it? So, before going for a liver biopsy and say for IDA, operatic cholangiogram,
Yes,
is
sir.
there any other specifics that people are studying it?
No idea, sir.
So there are some papers on the AST and platelet ratio index.
Yes, sir.
So if the AST versus platelet ratio, if it is more, they say it's probably look more in favor of biliary atresia. So that's also a possibility. So since it's a simple biochemical investigations,
Yes,
since
sir.
you have done both of them, you can calculate that
Yes, sir.
also. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Sir, I would like to proceed with intraoperative cholangiogram and proceed, sir.
You don't want to prepare the baby. The INR is 1.4. You are happy with the INR? Acceptable?
No, sir. I would like to stabilize the child with uh, before surgery FFP and vitamin K, and once the INR is stabilized, I would like to proceed with the surgeries.
Okay. So is there any role for a preoperative liver biopsy?
Yes, sir. There is a role for preoperative liver biopsy, sir. Uh,
So you want to do it or not do it?
as the features are more favoring towards the biliary atresia, I don't want to consider the possibility of liver biopsy, sir.
The liver biopsy is not specific for biliary atresia.
Yes, sir, sir, it is specific and sensitive also.
If you do liver biopsy and if it shows that it is biliary atresia,
Uh,
or if it is rules out biliary atresia, is that possibility?
Yes, sir. Because child is syndromic, there is possibility that uh, there may not be a biliary atresia, sir.
Yeah, I'm
So,
asking you whether you want, why you don't want to do liver biopsy. Just for argument's sake, for a
yes,
discussion sake, I'm asking. So, what is the specificity of liver biopsy for a diagnosis of biliary atresia?
sir,
And is it 100% specific, or is it
90% specificity is there for liver biopsy, sir.
yeah,
Diagnose biliary atresia.
yeah? So it is a experienced liver unit, and it's up to 89% to 90% specificity is there.
Yes,
So
sir.
another at least 10 to 15% still you can miss it.
Yes, sir.
So in this baby ultimately requires operative cholangiogram.
Yes, sir.
But what are the findings in biliary atresia in
Uh,
liver biopsy?
there will be bile duct proliferation with features of portal fibrosis with giant cell
Okay.
formation, sir.
If it is giant cell formation, is it in more favor of biliary atresia or neonatal hepatitis?
The neonatal hepatitis will be having more of mononuclear cell infiltration, sir, and there will be altered echo structure of the liver.
No, infiltration will be there in both.
Yes, sir.
Mononuclear infiltration will be there in both biliary atresia and also neonatal hepatitis. So, but the multinucleated giant cell proliferation and ballooning of hepatocytes and those things are more in favor of other spectrum like neonatal hepatitis.
Yes, sir.
Because if you look into the etiology, what is the cause for biliary atresia?
Sir, fibrosis, sir.
No, why
Etiological
fibrosis?
immunological fibrosis, inflammatory fibrosis, sir.
Yeah, correct. There is some inflammation, some viral particles induced inflammation, or sometimes autoimmune, like say alloimmune. So all those things are explained. So there will be some inflammatory infiltrates in the biliary atresia also. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So preoperatively, I will counsel the parents regarding the procedure what we are going to do, and prepare the optimize the child for intraoperative cholangiogram and proceed. And once the child is fit for surgery, I'll take up for intraoperative cholangiography.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, what are the findings? What you do exactly during intraoperative cholangiogram?
Sir, under general anesthesia, uh, we will take a 4 centimeter incision lateral to the rectus muscle above the umbilicus transversely, and will go intraperitoneally and identify the liver and the gallbladder, and suppose if the gallbladder is atretic, will uh, directly go ahead with Kasai's portal enterostomy, sir. If the gallbladder is distended, we'll take stay sutures to the gallbladder and insert a IV cannula of 18 mil, and we'll do a intraoperative cholangiogram, sir.
For this case, what is your anticipation in this case?
Commonly, we see the contrast going into the duodenum, but upon occlusion of the bile duct, common bile duct, there won't be a delineation of the intrahepatic radicals.
Okay. So if it is positive, if it is suggestive of biliary atresia, you'll go ahead with the portoenterostomy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what about that cyst in the pelvis? Before doing intracholecystectomy, you want to take a laparoscopy and see down and pelvis, see what's there. Is there any role for laparoscopy in this patient?
Yes, sir. We can do laparoscopy, and laparoscopically also we can do IOC, sir.
IOC. So I think that can we can take a look in the pelvis also and
Yes,
do
sir.
laparoscopic IOC also. So just that's one possibility you can look into it. Sir, should we discuss that the technical details of surgery things?
No, before that, I want to, give my thoughts about this patient.
Okay, sir.
If you take the full picture, the holistic picture of this patient with a very low birth weight, now less than 3 centile of the weight expected at this age, looking extremely syndromic and very, very iffy with regards to, what the outcome for this child will be.
Correct, sir.
I would be very, very guarded in going along the path of, intra-op cholangiogram and Kasai porta enterostomy and all for this child. Because we are talking about some vague Zellweger syndrome with syndactyly, polydactyly, and craniosynostosis and all these things.
Yeah.
So if you put all these things together, I don't know whether this child will withstand anything. So my sort of feeling regarding this child would be to have a proper case conference with the parents and all the stakeholders, including me and the specialists like the primary pediatric specialist, the geneticist, and all those,
Genetist.
and get a sort of a overview of this child. Like, what are we dealing with? Are we dealing with a individual who can be salvaged and who can be given a long-term view in this life? Is that possible? And what is the outcome with regards to various other things we are thinking of? Whatever that, Apert syndrome and that Cruzon syndrome and the Zellweger syndrome and all those things. What are the long-term outcomes in those things? So these things, I would definitely have a case conference about this child to discuss frankly with the parents, because generally when you talk about surgery, there is a lot of optimism.
True, sir.
And
True, sir.
in the first place, optimism is highly misplaced in biliary atresia, because we know, all of us know how much excellent outcome is there in biliary atresia.
True, sir.
On top of that, when you are not sure whether it is biliary atresia or not, or whether it is an Alagille syndrome, or it is some sort of a biliary hypoplasia syndrome, with the syndrome on top of it, I don't know what is the long-term scenario we are looking at in this child. So I would strongly push for a case conference in this child. I will strongly push for a ultrasound-guided proper liver biopsy. If our pathologist is not willing to look at it properly, I would scout around for a good pathologist wherever available in the town or out of town, and get this liver biopsy read reliably and well, whether it is in St. John's or CMC Vellore, wherever it is read, so that I can have a good idea about what I am dealing with. If it is showing hypoplastic bile duct syndrome in the liver biopsy itself, then I will apply brakes to everything. I will not go ahead with any further, plan of treating this child. I would go along the path of genetic workup, further counseling, and maybe, ultimately you have to give a lot of supportive treatment to these children. And probably liver transplant is the only thing which can give some good outcome to this baby as regards the HPB part of it. But as regards the intelligence of the baby, as regards the growth of the brain and various other syndromic aspects, we have to have a realistic picture of what we are going to offer this family. So that is very important. And while we are waiting for all these things, I would prepare the child for a HIDA scan, do a HIDA scan, and get it out of the way. So I think a liver biopsy and a HIDA scan plus minus, and trying to get the parents and the family the realistic picture regarding this child will be more important for me than just looking narrowly at cholestatic syndromes and treatment, because this child doesn't look like biliary atresia to me at all. It doesn't look like that at all. So logically, it sort of baffles me why we are even thinking of doing a intra-op cholangiogram in this child. I mean, that is my thought.
Yes, sir.
I would be very, very cagey about doing anything for this child.
I think I 100% agree with you, sir. So basically, my thoughts were that this gamma GTT is elevated and ALP elevated. So PFIC is unlikely, possibly, but we are not able to fit into exactly what it is. Definitely.
No, I think Alagriles is still possible, or any other syndrome with hypoplastic bile ducts is still possible. And if you have hypoplastic bile ducts, you're not going to do anything.
Not going to do anything.
Anything
Not
for this baby.
Not going to do anything for this baby.
Yeah.
I think we may have to do
and doing, discussing about laparoscopy and all in this baby who is so frail looking. I don't know how we are going to do a laparoscopy in this baby. I'm not very sure.
Yes, sir.
No, we do laparoscopy in newborns, but those newborns are, really tagada newborns. Like, you can make out just by looking at the newborn that this fellow is really tough. Like even our pyloric babies, in spite of vomiting so much, they are really so vigorous and so tagada they are. So you can do laparoscopy in them. But thinking of doing laparoscopy, IOC, looking at the cyst and all, I don't know. I mean, somewhere I think we are missing the big picture in this child.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Sir, when we get such a case where like the neonatal cholestasis associated with gross syndromic features like this, can we give a differential of neonatal cholestasis associated with syndrome probable Alagriel as one?
Yeah, definitely. Biliary duct hypoplasia is a definite possibility in any syndromic child with cholestasis. You have to think of that.
I think I agree with you, sir. So definitely that's one possibility. So now on good liver biopsy with, as I said, a case conference involving the ophthalmologist also to look into that. What are the possible findings from the input, and also genetist. And I agree with you, sir. Actually, our discussion was just only to complete, but definitely this baby, I have not examined, but if the parents are counseled about all those things, and then ultimately if the liver biopsy is not conclusive, then what are the possibilities, sir? Then we just counsel them and allow them to take their call on that.
No, I mean, liver biopsy looked at by a very good pathologist.
Should guide us.
You can take one or two opinions. That is one. And you can definitely offer operative cholangiogram and then see what you can do for this baby. Definitely. But they should be on board regarding all the other things the child is suffering from. They should not think that, ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ಸರ್.
ದೊಡ್ಡ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು then they should not be thinking like that. That is my feeling.
Absolutely, sir. I agree with this.
I feel when a patient is pushed towards surgery reference and pushed towards the path of surgery, very often a lot of the other things are sort of ignored. Especially in babies like this. I'm talking of babies like this, where there are so many things going on other than just cholestasis. Cholestasis is just one part of it. That's what
True, sir. The baby has absolutely multiple problems, failure to thrive, cranial problems. And
no, I have not seen this baby, but just looking at that picture which Achyut projected,
yes, sir.
It looks really,
it's not.
You'll be very, very sort of cagey about, scared of doing anything major for this baby.
Definitely, sir.
So total bilirubin, which was done 1 week back outside, it was 14 and direct was 11. Enzymes or GGT were not there, but now which we have done, it is 3.7 and 3.1.
So that definitely rules out sort of biliary atresia in this patient.
Yeah, correct. So I don't know. I mean, you will have to sort
No,
of.
have they done? See, other thing is that we can do on good liver biopsy, look at liver biopsy after correcting the coagulopathy,
Okay,
and
sir.
then we have a case conference.
Okay, sir.
So, is the spine X-ray, all those things are normal now?
Sir, yet to be done, sir.
Yet to be done.
Yes, sir.
Associations.
2D echo is normal.
Correct. Okay, okay. 2D echo is normal. What does the genetist they think now? They're thinking in the terms of
Sanjeeva sir has not seen. Genetic fellow has seen. That's it. So he's mentioned that needs to be discussed with Sanjeeva sir yet.
okay. So I think as Sir has told, so we will plan for a multidisciplinary team meeting with a complete evaluation from genetist and even from the pediatricians, and also we will do on liver biopsy after correcting the coagulation abnormality.
Yes, sir.
Just one thing we can discuss, Narendra, is just the technical aspect of Kasai.
Exactly, sir. Yeah. Just to
Crucial
complete
steps
the
of
discussion. Yeah.
portoenterostomy. What are the crucial steps? You can just mention it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, now once the intrahepatic radicals are not delineated, we'll go ahead with dissection of the gallbladder, and after that, the atretic biliary tree is dissected till the porta, sir.
Have you done or assisted Kasai, Achyut?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Normally, what is the first step you do?
First step will after opening the abdomen.
Cholangiogram is done and you approved it is biliary atresia. What is the first step you do?
First, we'll mobilize the liver, sir.
Yes. And what do you do by mobilizing the liver?
We'll get the liver out of the abdomen, deliver it
Okay.
out of the abdomen, sir.
Okay. Okay. It is always good thing to do, or you'll be very careful when you do that.
We'll be careful because there will be IVC kinking leading to decreased venous return to the heart.
Yes. Yes. Correct. Yeah. So most often what you do is you'll increase the size of your incision.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? You'll extend your laparotomy incision little more so
Yes,
that
sir.
you can get the liver out nicely. So what are the ligaments you divide to get the liver out?
Triangular ligaments and falciform ligament we divide, sir.
Okay. Will there be blood vessels in any of these ligaments?
As a falciform ligament might have a blood vessel, sir, and triangular ligament won't be having any blood vessels.
Usually the right triangular ligament will not have anything. If you are very aggressive and all, you can make a hole in the vena cava when you are doing it. Or some unknown veins on the near the caudate lobe and all that, no, you can injure. But generally, right side is okay. Left side, you may have some small vessels may be there. So you bring it out. Then what do you do?
Then we'll dissect the gallbladder from the gallbladder bed and continue the dissection towards the atretic biliary tree, sir. Identify the hepatic artery.
Do you encounter any vessel when you are dissecting the gallbladder?
Cystic artery.
Do you need to do anything for the cystic artery?
We'll use bipolar and we'll buzz it, sir.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. You are my kind of surgeon. Okay.
Go ahead, Achit.
Then we'll sloop
Describe the crucial steps. Describe the crucial steps.
Identification of the hepatic artery, sir.
Yeah.
Segregate it and then uh, dissect the portal vein, right and left portal vein.
Mm-hmm.
And our extent of dissection will be on the right side, first branch of the right hepatic artery, and on the left side, first branch of the left portal vein, sir.
Good.
Then
What else you need to do?
we will sloop the vessels,
Mm-hmm.
then dissect the portal plate at the level of the Gleason's capsule without digging into the liver parenchyma.
Now, what are the limits of your dissection? So posteriorly, is there any other small things you need to do it when you
Posteriorly, the tributaries of portal vein going towards the base of the liver will ligate it, sir.
yeah, sometimes they may have a little oozing, so
Yes,
we
sir.
need to ligate them properly, or sometimes it can be managed with bipolar also.
Yes, sir.
So where you want to use a cautery, where you don't want to use a cautery, how you are going to use the dissection.
Dissection of the porta at the when we are dissecting the porta, I will avoid using the cautery, sir. Then dissection of the fibrotic portal plate from the Gleason's capsule, we will avoid using the cautery. Rest of the places we can use cautery, sir.
Okay, where do you find
Yeah.
the ducts? The at least the
At
usually located ducts.
at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock positions, sir.
And then what is the a little extended kasai? You do a extension of the kasai, modified.
Yes, sir. Extension till the umbilical vein joins the left portal vein, sir. Dissection is carried out till then.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, sir. Then around we'll create the rule loop, sir. Around 20 centimeter from the DJ flexure, we'll take out the loop of the jejunum and get it in a retrocolic fashion, medial to the middle colic vein on the right side of the middle colic artery. Then end of the jejunum is stump is closed, and end to side porto-enteric anastomosis is done, sir. And below jejunal anastomosis is done, sir, in a end to side fashion.
Okay, so usually we don't want to take bites at the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock where you expected the small the ductules will be there.
Yes, sir.
So you are where you're going to take stitches?
Uh,
So is to the outside your dissection or within the dissection area?
we'll take outside the dissection area, sir.
The Gleason's capsule, you have to take to the
Yes,
liver
sir.
capsule only, basically.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The what else you do after that? After the anastomosis is completed, you are done a jejunostomy.
Yes, sir. And we fix the mesenteric defects.
Okay. No, anything else you want to do?
We'll do liver biopsy, sir. Liver biopsy will do, sir.
Yeah, liver biopsy has to be done. Very, very important.
And you'll keep a drain also, no?
No, sir. We don't keep drain here, sir.
You don't keep a drain.
No, sir.
Okay.
So when you send the liver biopsy, so what are the parameters you look into it?
We'll look for the size of the bile ductule, sir. We'll look for
Okay.
the extent of fibrosis.
Okay.
No, he's asking about liver biopsy, Achyut.
Yes, sir.
You look at the size of the ductule in the portal plate you sent,
Correct.
isn't it?
Yes. We'll mainly look for the extent of fibrosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the fibrosis score? You want to
Yes,
look
sir.
at it. At the portal plate.
At the portal plate, we look for the size of the ductule, sir.
Okay. Any correlation between the ductules and the bile drainage, and any correlation between the fibrosis and bile drainage?
Bile ductule size more than 150 microns uh, said to be having a good bile drainage, sir. And
Fibrosis.
fibrosis less than 3, sir.
Actually, there are a lot of papers which say that there is no correlation between portal the bile duct size also and even fibrosis score also. So the most important thing is age at surgery.
Yes, sir.
So that's the most important thing, and they are not nowadays. There are papers which say fibrosis score definitely they are not correlating with the prognostic thing.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know, sir. What's your sir, thoughts about that, sir?
No, I have not looked at this thing at all.
Because we have seen in our own experience in Indira Gandhi also, many times we get 5/5 Ishak score. Sometimes they start draining bile. We get
Okay.
sometimes 3/5 Ishak score fibrosis, and they are not doing well. So those situations, and also recently also we had a small bile ductules, and patient is draining nicely bile. So
Okay.
even some papers also they're talking about not much correlation between the outcome and the duct size and the HR score also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. I think anything. So this for this baby, we'll plan for a complete evaluation and then MDT,
Yes, sir.
and then we'll have a discussion.
Okay, sir.
That will be then we'll have the roadmap what to offer to this baby. So
Okay, sir.
looking at that drop in the bilirubin from 14 to say 3 point change,
Yes, sir.
there is a significant drop. In fact, so that means it's definitely not looking like a surgical baby. It looks like a more of a medical baby,
Yes,
definitely.
yes, sir.
So anything to discuss in the techniques, sir?
No, nothing. I see who else is there. Jagdish is there. Jagdish is a consultant. He can
Yeah,
add if anything he wants to add.
Jagdish and Vinupriya.
Inupriya is also there. Yeah, both of
Yeah.
them can add.
Yellow alert.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell Jagdish.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Audible, sir.
Jagdish.
Basically, I'm traveling, but I have a question. Sir, I have a question. Even recently, the papers are saying that the correlation between the age, the what we say cutoff of 60 days and 90 days is also not much reliable, sir.
Yeah,
Hello.
correct.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we can
yeah,
hear you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have seen this baby. Even the same thoughts are running in my mind. Maybe liver biopsy prior to going ahead with IOC, because it's more of syndromic. Syndromic will be carrying more poor prognosis, and more or less it is not fitting exactly into the biliary traces, sir. Not a straightforward
Yeah.
case. Even
Yes.
I thought of many allegedly one possibility I thought of, and any other syndromic paucity one possibility, and hepatitis also we entertained because some torch infection, some IgG bodies or something was there.
no, torch is not there. But considering all those things, yeah, failure to thrive, baby is having less than 3 percentile growth parameters. So considering all those things, yes, definitely some amount of like say the hepatitis by a possibility.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nothing much to add, sir. I think I agree with Ramchandra, sir, what sir is saying. Probably we need to give first option of doing liver biopsy prior to going for IOC, sir. Even I have the same thought process, sir.
Absolutely, I agree with.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good presentation, Achyut. I
Thank
really
you, sir.
liked your methodical thing. You are not rushed. Usually you rush in your presentation. Today you are very, sort of calm, and you presented it in a very nice way. Very
Yes.
well presented.
Thank you,
In
sir.
fact, it is little more not a straightforward case for him to present also. So this is
But still he
definitely,
did a good job. Very good job.
yeah, he did a good job. True.
Yeah. Great. See, basically, I think we have to look more at process than at the goal.
Yes, sir.
So, if your process is good, you will always achieve the goal. Like Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, no, karmanya vadikaraste.
Yes, sir.
Process is very important. Goal is secondary. It will happen. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So always remember that dictum in life: process, process, process,
Yes.
and system. Adopt a system in your life. As a
Yes.
pediatric surgeon, what is your system? To talk to parents, what is your system to approach a surgical procedure? What is your system to examine a baby with jaundice, with mass, like that? So for everything, you have to have a system and a process. So goal will come. It will
Yes.
come. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yes. After that.